everyone. Shelly here with Align My Practice. Today's podcast with Dean at OrthoMarketing is all about conversion. Make sure to tune in so that you can empower your treatment coordinator to get conversion at 80%.
OrthoMarketing.com, 360-degree digital marketing solutions for your practice.
Well, hello everybody out there in podcast land. It's Dean Steinman from OrthoMarketing. And guess what? We are back with another podcast for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody is having a terrific day. And we have one of my favorite people in the whole world back again for another podcast to join us. I have the beautiful, incredible, lovely, talented Shelly Bostrom here from Align My Practice to talk a little bit about conversions, guys. And so, Shelly, welcome back. How are you?
Dean, I'm so fantastic. It's so great to chat with you again. And I remember all of your Deanisms. So it's good to be back.
I appreciate it. I'm glad I have a Deanism there. So thank you. All right, so we're going to jump right in. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about conversions. All right, plain and simple. That's the number one thing that practice has to think about now. All right, it's early 2026, and I'm sure if you just look at your numbers, guys, 2025 might have been, if you're lucky, up a couple of points. Most practices were flat or even down. So what's the reason why? All right, number one reason why is conversions. You probably are seeing some leads, but then from there, are they showing up? And once they're showing up, are you letting them leave? So, Shelly, let's talk about the three main reasons that somebody just will leave that seat. All right, because once we get that's somebody's butt in the seat, I'd like to say, don't let them leave, guys, unless they have no teeth. Okay, or they have no money. But besides that, let's talk about the three reasons that somebody will not start, and then let's talk about how to respond to that.
Yeah. Gosh. So I think the main reason, I know you mentioned three, but really the main reason, if a patient after the consultation is over and they leave without a next step. So we'll be back up a little bit. So whenever I'm working with my TCs, I make sure it is part of their system that patient doesn't leave until they're a one of three statuses. They are either yes today. And that doesn't mean a same day start where we're slapping braces on the teeth. It's a same day commitment, because a same day commitment, which is basically signing a contract, making an initial payment, that is at a 98.6% conversion. So an
Wow.
itty bitty percentage of those patients are going to call back tomorrow and go, I changed my mind. I would like a refund for my initial payment.
Right.
So that is really your first, your priority status. Your second status is a scheduled record. So this is the
Okay.
patient who they didn't give you money. They're still really motivated. We need to use that assuming language mindset and guide the patient into saying, you know what, no problem. Tell you what, you're busy. We're really busy. Let me save this appointment for you. I know you love Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Let's just save it. Let me put you down. You want to come in next Wednesday or the Wednesday after? I'm
Okay.
not asking them if they want to. If we gave them everything they want out of this consultation and we gave them a great experience, out of them, we did our job, then why wouldn't they want to schedule? So then you're going to move forward with that.
Okay.
Your third status is if those didn't work, you can't have an open-ended, I'll call you, you call me. We need to have a very firm call to action, which is I'm going to follow up with you. Do you want me to call you the end of this week or beginning of next week? I'm not going to just
Okay.
leave it open-ended. And then you need to get that commitment from them. You need to open your calendar together. You need to choose the day and the window of time that you're going to follow up with them. Don't put the ball in the patient's court. You are the treatment coordinator. This is your room, your house, your patient. So it is your responsibility to make that next step connection. And then you're going to give them an appointment card. And the appointment card
Okay.
is going to be agreed upon by both of you. I'm going to call you on Friday between the hours of 2 and 5. I can't wait to chat with you again. If you need me between now and then, call me, and you're going to give them an appointment card. By doing that, you're going to have a lot less chance of them ghosting you. As a treatment coordinator, if the patient leaves without a firm appointment, and you got to add them to your pending list, and we're going to be chasing them, and you're going to get ghosted because they're not ready to make that choice yet.
Right.
You're going to be a lot less ghosted if you get the commitment from them in advance.
All right. So while they're doing that, how do they educate a TC to get better at sales? Because it's a sales job,
Right.
So how would you, besides obviously they bring you in and to teach them how to do it, but what's one thing that the doctor could do today
Yeah.
to help his TC get a little bit better? To go from 50 to 55, 60 to 62, it could be a difference maker.
We need to be converting at least at 80%. So.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right.
So the way that happens, have you, Dean, seen the Wolf of Wall Street?
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
So the famous line of "Sell me
Sell
this."
sell me this pen.
Okay. So we need to know what kind of pen this patient wants. We cannot, as treatment coordinators, and I know that you definitely said it. Treatment coordinators are salespeople, absolutely. They often don't want to be called a salesperson, but it's okay. We need to own that role. But we need to remember that these patients researched you,
Right.
called you, scheduled, showed up. They're sitting in your chair. They really want to be sold. Moms are the busy decision makers. They don't want to go to 3 consultations. They really don't. They would love
Okay.
to have you check all their boxes, have a great experience, have their child have a great experience. So, as a treatment coordinator and as a doctor, the way that you're going to crush this treatment presentation is you need to ask a lot of questions beforehand. So, I teach my TCs to be a good detective, a good sleuth. One of my favorite
Okay.
books is Dr. Robert Cialdini's Principle of Influence, and he
You
talks
mentioned that many times, right? Yeah.
about a bungler, a smuggler, or a sleuth. A bungler is someone who you're just bungling all the information and you don't know what to do with it, and you're selling everybody the same pen.
Right.
Smuggler is someone who the patient's feeding you information and you're just smuggling it. You're keeping it within, you are not putting it to work. A sleuth is the smart treatment coordinator. You're asking all the right questions. You are truly listening, and then you're applying that information to your presentation.
Right.
And whether you're the doctor or you're the treatment coordinator. So, like if a patient says, I'm just here because of this space, or this tooth sits higher than that tooth, or, this tooth overlaps that tooth. The doctor needs to make sure to, review the records, give the treatment plan, go over all the diagnostics, make
Right.
his or her recommendation. But if he or she doesn't say, and you know what, I know that canine tooth is bugging you, I got you. We're going to level that out as part of this treatment plan, because the patient wants to know that you hear what their goals are, you hear what their concerns are, and you're applying that. It's not a one and done. You're not going to treat every patient the same way. So a lot of your success with this is you have to ask questions from the moment they call your office.
Right.
You have to start planting seeds and asking questions. So you just check all the boxes for them, and then the treatment truly tells itself.
Okay.
This podcast is sponsored by OrthoMarketing.com. In a crowded market, how does your practice stand out? If you're a dentist or orthodontist looking for a competitive edge, OrthoMarketing is your solution. We aren't just another agency, we are the industry's choice for specialized digital marketing. We understand the unique challenges of your field and specialize in one thing: growth. Our experts will optimize your website and leverage social media to build real connections with your community. We don't just get clicks, we get patience. Say goodbye to empty chairs and watch your patient list grow with a strategy built specifically for your success. Visit OrthoMarketing.com to get started. OrthoMarketing. It's not just our name, It's what we do.
How much realistically should the doctor be involved in the TC process?
Yeah. Less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
So all right. So let's take back percentage wise. So how long, is the appointment 60 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes? So it's not to be in for 5%, 20%,
yeah. So I like a 60-minute new patient consultation.
okay.
There's really like 5 parts to that. So we've
Okay.
got the initial greeting, we've got the records, we've got the meet and greet, where you're being a great detective and sleuth. Then we've got the doctor portion, and then
All
doctor
right.
needs to get in and out. So if we had
Okay.
a 60-minute consultation, I like the doctor in at the 30-minute mark. So that allows you to do your greeting, your welcome tour, the whole red carpet
All right.
service treatment,
Okay.
doing all your records, getting them uploaded. Doctor reviews records is in at the 30-minute mark, out definitely before that 45-minute mark. And then that way the treatment coordinator has a solid 15 minutes to reiterate doctor's treatment plan and then go over financials and get them scheduled same day.
Got it. All right. Next question. Say to somebody they still just can't close them and blah, blah, blah. I'll let you know. I have to talk to someone. So let's talk about next steps, follow up there. How long should they wait? It's kind of like a date. You have a first date. How long should you wait before you follow up and call a second one? So how long should should they be following up? How often,
Yeah.
and in what manner?
Yes. Such good questions, Dean. So I like the first follow up to be a confirmed phone call. Remember, it's agreed upon by you and the patient. And I
Okay.
like 3 days, unless they flat out tell you, I'm going out of town, I'm on vacation, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and you can call me back later. But
Right.
I like to immediately lead into that 3 days. So if the consultation is in the beginning of the week, try to get it in on a Thursday or Friday. If
Okay.
it's at the end of the week, beginning of the following week. And then and like I said, the chances of them answering are going to skyrocket once you get that commitment. So my
Okay.
goal is that you're not going to get ghosted for following up forever.
Okay.
My recommendations as far as frequency of follow up is I have a 9 touch points over 9 months. And
Okay.
you had asked about the method of communication. I do it all because not everybody has the same preferred method of communication. So
Mhm.
it's a combination of phone calls, text messages, emails, and then my kind of Hail Mary at the end are a couple of good old fashioned snail mail letters.
Okay.
Because you don't know, you know, I a lot of people love texting. I don't
Mhm.
love texting. I'm an email girl. It's probably my age, but I like email. And so you don't know unless you flat out ask them what is your preferred method of communication.
Mhm.
I recommend mixing it up and then
Okay.
seeing what sticks.
I'm the same way when it comes to our marketing. I want to have as many different call to actions as possible for at least for the initial communication there, because you don't know how less and less and less people are picking up the phone,
Yep.
and if you realize, but caller ID is gone now. So
Yep.
when a call comes through, it comes through as just as a phone number.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, but I probably have 100 voicemails. So I don't check my phone anymore because unless I know somebody's already in my contacts. So text, email, and even now you should be doing, reaching people through DMs,
Yep.
because people are checking their Instagram more than they're checking their text. So you got to do it in multiple ways. And I love that 9 times in 9 days. From the flip side, I'm at 8 times in 8 days per guy in order from the initial lead coming through.
Yeah.
Here's something that I don't know if I updated you or told you about, but obviously from here at OrthoMarketing, we handle all of the new patient inquiries for practices now. So we answer the calls, we respond to the emails, we respond to the forms, we book them on the calendars, and last month 58% of the appointments that we booked for practices took 4 or more touch points to get them in. Now, I don't know of one practice that does it in-house that reaches out to somebody for more than 2 or 3 times. So, so can you afford to lose 60% of your new business by not just having a process in place, you know? So,
Everybody needs you, Dean. Everybody needs you because you're right. The the team that is in the practice, if you are in a busy, thriving practice and you've
right,
got, patients coming and going and you have to give them a great, wonderful patient experience just on the first visit, but really throughout their entire patient journey, having a like lifeline partner like you who can
right,
help them get these leads in there because marketing is an investment. And I think you said it before, why invest in marketing if you're not going to be able to
right,
come through?
right.
You got to, one, they need to answer the phones. Two, they need to answer the phones correctly. And so
Right.
many offices
Now,
revenue
no,
on the table because nobody's answering their phones. And if they are, they're bad at it.
yeah, right, terrible at it. So it's 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 bad, when they have to do it right away. It's speed to lead. The first practice that responds to a lead gets them in. That's it. Plain and simple. 85% chance of getting them in.
Yeah.
If you're the first one, you have to do it within 2 minutes. And that's what we're doing now for a lot of practices there. So, and so quickly in closing here, if you had to give somebody one bit of advice today, all right, that a practice should do, a doctor should do today that could potentially help with his conversions, what should you have him do or her do?
Call Dean at OrthoMarketing.
Nice.
So the one thing that you can take away is you need to remember that I I want your patient, I want it to be more of a conversation with them and not a script. So I like
Okay.
scripting frameworks to help treatment coordinators and really all team members within the practice understand why they're having these conversations. So
Right.
try to get away from the scripting because patients want you to be authentic and genuine.
Right.
So you need to have conversations with them, find out what they want. Hey, when you're thinking about orthodontic treatment, are you thinking more of clear aligners, metal braces, or clear braces?
Right.
Such a simple question. Why go through the whole spiel of, we've got all these different modalities? If, like, why talk about braces if they came in here because they want to have aligners? Great. You're a great candidate for clear aligners. Let's talk through what that looks like.
Right.
So it's just customizing that relationship and that conversation and getting away
Right.
from this
Right.
scripting that sounds the same for everybody.
That's why I tell everybody, don't jump into the AI world yet. Okay. Eventually you're going to have to, but it has to be a human conversation to start. Then you can use AI as the whipped cream on the sundae, but you're the ice cream. You need to make sure that you're a human person first, and then you can work with that afterwards, because things are not going always straight. There are different questions to be asked and answered, so you need to adapt to it accordingly there. So
100%.
that's great. So Shelley, once again, thanks so much for these tips. This is awesome. I loved having you on. And shameless plug time. If somebody, obviously, and everybody out there, guys, you need help. You're great at changing people's lives, give them the smile that they want and that you could deliver. Work with an expert who can help your staff be better at what they do, and take advice, adapt. So Shelley, go ahead, plug away. What's the best way for somebody to reach you?
Oh, thank you so much, Dean. It was a great day today. I'm everywhere, friends. You guys can find me anywhere. So again, Shelly Bostrom with Align My Practice. I've got a gorgeous website. Thank you to my friends at OrthoMarketing. But I'm all over. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can find me. I'm
Great.
not hard to find. Thank you.
She's easy to find, and she's great to work with. So, guys, reach out to Shelley if you need help, and which I'm sure most people do, because I don't know anybody that's doing 100% closing out there yet. So, she can help. And Shelley, bless you. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate it. And everybody in Podcast Land, thank you for being loyal, for watching us, listening to us, and being a fan. Love you. So, everybody, be happy, be smart, be safe, and keep smiling. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean.
OrthoMarketing.com. 360-degree digital marketing solutions for your practice.